One. Rock Solid Musecast Experience with Aaron and Dave, back once again with Chris from Fallstar. Dude, where did you come up with this name Fallstar? Because that's, I mean, is it like fallen star or what is it?
Yeah, if you read like YouTube comments, it's like when Satan fell from heaven to earth, and that's where we get all our Luciferian connections, and that's why we're the most satanic Christian band around.
Oh, that's great.
True. Yeah, it's just our last name backwards. It's just Ratzlaff is Fallstar.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we just
Did you know
changed
that,
the
Aaron?
letters phonetically.
No, I did not. It was good though.
Now I know.
The other stuff was really good. On one of your new songs,
You like the other story better? Is that what you're saying there?
It was good.
All right, Chris, stick with that story from now on. It's not about your name.
Oh man. On your new album, there's some kids at the beginning of one of the songs. I can't,
Yeah.
Is that your kids?
Yeah, that's my oldest Lockie, and then my middle son Cannon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how old are your kids?
Now they're 6 and 3. So
Do
then when they recorded it, they were 2 and 5.
Oh,
So
wow.
The littlest one was just learning to talk.
Okay, so
And that is their favorite song, I bet.
Yeah, they love it.
We're on it.
do they totally? Excuse me. Do they totally just like get into it and think it's cool doing this stuff, or is it Dad's at it again?
I think they know all the songs because I listen to all the demos constantly in the car with them, so they sing along to them. And then like only this recent run when I went out, then they wanted to form a band when I left. So they like got out one of my guitars and they got out some drums and they were like, I'm in a band like Dad. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You ask them in the back, how's that one? And they go like, was it a 1, a 2, or 3, or 4? They judge it for you. Daddy, better scrap that one. And that one's really good. That's gonna be a hit.
Yeah, they don't like the songs with just screaming. They're like, turn it off. They don't. They like the melody.
Okay.
But I gotta get my daughter on this next record. I'm trying to find a spot where she can talk. So.
Get her to scream. Get her to do some screaming.
She screams. Lord, she screams.
Aren't kids grand though? I mean, they just tell you what they think right away.
Yeah, they do.
Well, it's the brutal honesty.
That's right.
I wish we could all just go through life with the mindset of a child. Wouldn't that be just fantastic? We could be brutally honest with somebody and they wouldn't get offended. They'd just be like, whatever. Okay, let's go play.
Dad, I only love mommy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I'm not a shrink. I did take a psychology class in high school, but it sounds like we're getting kind of deep here. Something you want to open up about, Chris?
Hey, tell me about the song, my favorite song on the album, Cloud Chamber. Talk about that song.
Let me remember how it goes real quick.
Maybe if you'd asked him a question about the song instead of telling him to tell you about the song.
that would be good.
I think it's just like about I guess it would be like reveling in the times where you feel free, or like where you're like those few moments in life where you just feel like a zeal for life, or like where like you go outside and like everything's beautiful and you're like, wow, it's amazing to be alive. Like it's like one of those. And for me, like I don't have those moments very often. Like I have like pretty bad depression a lot, and like I'm on like lots of medication to help with that, which has helped a lot. But yeah, I think it's just like basking in those moments where it like feels really good to be alive. And, like,
okay,
I know, and that's like a rarer thing for me. So it's like, yeah.
Well, let me get deep for just a second then, since you brought it up. I hope you don't mind me asking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, since you say you battle with depression, do you find that jumping on stage and feeding off the energy of a crowd is like the antithesis? Like that is the natural drug to bring you out of a depression? Or is it just kind of status quo and you're kind of in the zone?
Yeah, I don't think there's many highs like performing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah. Yeah. I don't get to do it as much as I want to, so like I can't depend on that to keep me stabilized, you know? But yeah, it definitely will get you there to a really nice baseline.
I'm gonna, please don't take offense to the way I say this, but it's like the junkie looking for his next fix, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, you know, Dennis Leary said a long time ago that in one of his acts, he said, you know, some people go through life thinking that life should be just all sunshine and pixies and, you know, and he goes, it's not. It's the little things in life. It's the 5-minute cigarette that is the, you know, for you, it's the jumping on stage for a couple hours. It's the little things that tie it together, and everything else is just kind of mundane life that we all live, but we don't. And he didn't say this, but we don't put that out on Facebook for everybody to see because it's mundane.
Mhm. Yeah. And like since we're not like touring a ton anymore these days, like I write every night, and so that's also another, like, recording is like not super fun for me because you're like playing everything perfect and you're trying to get everything right, and it takes a lot of like work, like physical and mental work. um but the writing process where I'm just writing out songs, and I'm doing that all day long in my head and singing it into voice memos. And then by the time I get my like 1 or 2 hours at night when my kids are asleep, then those like that's like my heaven, like where I'm just like putting together a song and like figuring out melodies and like structure and everything. And that's something I constantly do like every single day. Like I like for this Sunbreather album I think the final was around 60 songs that I had finished, and then we chose 11 of those. So it's just like I'm constantly writing. So with this next like crowdfund and stuff, like I'm just releasing some B-sides just because I have so much material that'll never get out there. I want to just let people hear just a little bit of it and see that it's not like that, not like if you're writing constantly, you're gonna have some bad songs too, which I think is kind of fun to see, like what the bad ones are. So
Right. Well, I mean, I have bad shows.
yeah.
And I'm just talking, man.
Yeah.
Well, so when you're writing, I gotta assume that you are a fan of the screamo style of music in
Mhm.
order to write and perform that, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I've always found it interesting when I hear an interview or I talk to somebody that's in a rock band, and you know, and I think that they're listening to the same music I am, and they're like, oh no, I'm just a huge Barry Manilow fan. I just do that for work, you know. Um,
I definitely don't listen to
Ver-
hardcore heavy screamo music at all
oh,
because
so you do
I'm
listen to the Barry Manilow?
I listen to like like drum and bass, like
I got you.
electronic music, like
Oh, really? All right,
yeah, like
cool.
or like video game music, like because I could listen to heavy music, but like I want my ideas to be my own, and like I just get super paranoid that like I'll hear what's popping at the moment and I'll get sucked into being like, oh, I should put out something like this. Like I've had like that whole Backdraft record was a struggle for me because I was so influenced at like by what was sounding like what I was hearing at the time that I don't feel like it's the most authentic songwriting I've ever done in a record. And I
Mm.
felt so much pressure for it to be good that I started looking to outside bands and seeing what they were doing. And so after that record, I just don't listen to anything current in my genre anymore.
I hear you. Well,
Yeah.
you did say that you put it on in the car with the kids and stuff like that. And I'm assuming that's mostly because you're trying to brush up on the songs and stuff like that because you might go perform or something. But do you ever just slide your own stuff on and just like rock out to your own stuff? Because I would assume that you write songs that you like.
Yeah, I want to write my next favorite record. Yeah, for sure. I think by the time the album is out, I'm already listening to demos for the next record. So like I haven't listened to Sunbreather. Well, I did listen for a little bit to freshen up for the last tour. But lately in the car, all I've been listening to is the next record that I have written and sharpening it up. And yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
When can we expect that? When is the next album slated?
I would like it to be early 2022, but there's no way that'll happen with like vinyl production. It's like at a year now, so I'm thinking end of 2022, like October, November.
Just in time for Christmas,
I
Aaron.
know, I know.
You can get your order in now. It's a stocking stuffer for next year.
Yeah, it's all written though. It's really, really good. Like I hope you'll like it as much as Sunbreather. I think it's just as good. So I'm very excited for everyone to hear it, and I just have to record it now. Which
And you're crowdfunding this one.
yes.
Awesome. So how can people get in on the crowdfunding?
So we'll start it probably sometime in November, early November, I'm thinking.
Of 21.
Yeah, so in like a couple weeks, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and we just have a bunch of cool stuff that we're offering for the crowdfund only. So like we're giving out the reference tracks for Sunbreather. So all the demos before they were mixed and everything, people can hear some of the weird ideas that were on them and stuff that didn't make it to the record. And then releasing 5 B-sides from this current record and from Sunbreather and from Future Golden Age. So some of the songs that almost made those records but didn't. So releasing 5 of those, and then 9 cover songs from the last crowdfund, and then at least 3 new cover songs. So there's just a whole bunch of cool audio stuff that people will be able to hear, and like a limited vinyl that's only available through the crowdfund, and t-shirts and sweatshirts. So
cool. Now you said there's going to be 3 covers. Can you tell me what the covers are?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
Or is that a secret?
No, it's not a secret. I really want to. I haven't narrowed it down to 3 yet, but one that I've really wanted to do was Dragula by Rob Zombie.
Oh, nice. I love that song.
Yeah, it's such a good. It's so powerful.
It's got a driving rhythm to it.
Yeah. It's so dope. And then I want to do like a Demon Hunter song. That Life War song would be really fun. That's one of my favorite songs ever written. And then maybe like a Taking Back Sunday, Cute Without the E, or let me see what else I had. Oh, and then I wanted to do like the Ramones' Pet Cemetery, and then I wanted to do Jumper from Third Eye Blind. So we'll see what ends up happening.
Now that's, no pun intended, that's a jump, since I mean Fallstar is not really Third Eye Blind.
No. I love Third Eye Blind.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Third Eye Blind and like Jimmy Eat World. Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me now. No Jimmy Eat World allowed.
Yeah. Maybe a Christmas song in there?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't like Christmas songs.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's fine.
That's cool.
But I think Christmas albums are such a cool idea, but like, I just don't like Christmas songs. I like a few of like the old hymns, like the old school ones, but then anything else, I just can't do it. But I think it would be an awesome thing for a band to release. Like, I wish I could, but I wouldn't make it.
Well, it's not for everybody.
I'm a huge "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer" song.
Another one.
And Dave hits that, but I just heard the updated version or whatever from the band called Grave Robber.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Grandma got eaten by a zombie.
Oh my gosh.
It's on our Christmas show. We're going to be playing that song. And that is great.
Well,
That's
they did a cover of another Christmas song as well, and which is, by the way, one of my favorite Christmas songs, which is the Kinks' "Father Christmas."
Okay.
You don't know the Kinks' "Father Christmas"? Oh, you're a punk fan, I know, because you mentioned the Ramones.
Yeah.
Go check out the Kinks' "Father Christmas." You might actually fall in love with a Christmas song.
Oh, I guess there's one Christmas song I like. Shoot, it's
Galway. He likes it so much he can't remember the name.
Yeah,
I know. Me and my wife sing it at every Christmas party together, and like for all our friends, and I forget.
He's looking it up, Aaron.
Yeah.
It's like that song. It goes like, "And the boys of the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay."
I don't know this one.
No Use for a Name covered it. The Bells Were Ringing Out for Christmas Day. It's really good.
Mm.
Anyways, I would cover that,
man. Let me know. I'll check that out.
So you ever thought about bringing the wife on for a duet on the album?
Nope, she won't do it. I've tried.
Oh my gosh,
I've tried.
Yeah.
Fairy Tale of New York. That's what it is.
Who does that? I'm gonna check it out.
The Pogues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't.
Pogues. I'm writing this down so I can check it out later. The Pogues, and it's called the Fairy Tale
of New York. But the band that covered it that got me into the song is No Use for a Name. So No Use for a Name covers Fairy Tale of New York. Yeah, they're an amazing band. I loved that band. Their singer died, so there's no more of that. But
oh, really?
I love all their records. So good.
Well, that's cool. I assume that you're a punk fan because you, like I said, you mentioned the Ramones. Well, there's got to be some punk influence. I listened to you guys today, and I mean, it's more screamo than it is punk, but there's punk influence in there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of punk fans at your shows? I mean, is there a big prayer pit?
No.
That's what I call the mosh pit, the prayer pit.
No punk. No, not a lot of punk people are into our music, but that's the music that I first heard like after Michael W. Smith, I think.
Well, that's a jump too.
So, yeah, that's all I was listening to. And then I heard MXPX and Bad Religion and NoFX, and I had no idea that kind of music existed. And it just blew my mind.
All right. So I got a homework assignment for you, Chris. Michael W. Smith Goes Punk. That's your next album. There you go.
That's it.
Go West, young man. Punk style.
Now, I know you said you got into writing. Was that an influence? Was Michael W. Smith influencing your writing? I mean, to me, he's one of the best Christian writers of all time. I mean, he's written some very good songs.
Yeah, he's great. Maybe subconsciously.
Okay.
But I think when I first started writing songs, it was all like before I played like bass guitar or anything, it was all like taking MXPX melodies and like remaking the lyrics. That's how I started like writing music. And then I bought a bass, and then everything sounded like MXPX and for a really long time.
So now I've always wondered this. So I'm going to shoot the question to you. I haven't asked this question of anyone. Do you find it difficult to write songs, or does it just come to you? Because I couldn't rhyme anything to save my life. But, you know, as I drive home or to work, I'm always thinking of something I'm going to say during the show. So I'm constantly thinking and jotting stuff down and that sort of thing. But is it kind of the same for you when you're writing a song? It's like, I'm cruising to work and that's a pretty good melody. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just all day long. I'm constantly thinking about like 2 or 3 songs that I'm writing at the moment. And like, I used to have to like have a tape voice memo around with me, but now everything's on your phone. So like I have like thousands of voice memos on my phone, and occasionally I just sort through them and sort like what kind of songs they'll be for, and I categorize them and everything. But yeah, I'm constantly thinking of stuff. And so I write a lot of bad songs, but then I write good songs in there too. It's just like that exercise of like, it's like obsessive. Like it's not something I try to be like, oh, I need to write this song. It's more just like, that's what I want to do. And I've always, at least for the last like 20 years, it's all I felt like I just need to do it. And it's not like I need to do it because I need to make a good record or like I hope someone will hear this. It's just like that's what my mind does, and it has to do that for some reason. And so like I'm just constantly writing all day long. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'll have stuff, and then when I'm going to bed, I'm still singing stuff into my phone, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lead. And then like, it's just constant.
So do you find that your wife is like, honey, just go back to sleep enough already. All right.
No, she gets it. Like we'll be out at dinner and I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to part. I got to get out of this area, record it. So like, it's just part of our lives. It's funny.
It's what happens.
I think she knew this going in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
into the marriage.
Married a rock star.
Yeah, married a guy.
This is the way it goes. Now, since you're writing all the time, you have your studio right there. I mean, you got all your guitars on the wall. Are you in your studio?
Yeah. This little 6x8 room is where the last couple of records have been made. At least, the Northlander one, Sunbreather, and then Future Golden Age were all in this little box. And like I have my recording, like vocal booth thing right here, and
all your processors and all that. Or
I mean, I literally have an interface, a mic, and a guitar cable.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's it. Like my interface is just the Apogee Duet 2. It's like a 10-year-old interface, but the preamps sound really good.
Yeah, everything sounds so good now. It's almost like if you want to get that old analog sound like Dave Grohl did for one of his albums, you got to go to a studio that's got a monster just to get that old sound anymore, because the studio fits on a desk now.
Well, that's what they got to do. Develop an app so you can get the old school sound.
Yeah.
Somebody's working on that. Jot that down, man. Well, so that's got to be helpful though, right? Because I mean, when you really got something, you can just jam it out.
Yeah. And we couldn't exist as a band like maybe 15 years ago. Like there's no way we could afford to do it. And like, there's no way we could write. Like we wouldn't be a band. But since we're born in the future, I'm just so thankful that we're able to get songs onto the computer and like we can pay someone to mix and it sounds really, really good. So
now, did you do any work in the studio, like on the first album or anything like that?
Yeah, the first 3 we did in studios. But it drove me nuts because like I felt like it was just such a waste of time.
Really?
Because like we were in one of the studios we were in for a month, and it's like a really nice studio, really expensive. But like, especially for vocals, I'm like, I know when what I'm singing is what we should be keeping. So like I need to do it again. Like, or like, no, that one was it. I need that. And like, if someone else is telling me like, no, try it this way or try it this way, I'm like, dude, I have thought about this for the last couple years straight. Like, I know what's best for this. So like, it's like, I just felt like it was such a waste of time, and like I can do it myself super easy. So it drove me bananas. And so when I finally resolved to just do it myself, it just made everything way easier and cheaper.
So you're producing your own material now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you currently producing anybody else's material? Or
no, I've been asked, and I dabbled in that a little bit, but I don't have time. Like I barely have enough time to do what I want to do. And so then it just feels real bad if I barely have time to do what I want to do and then I'm doing something that someone else wants to do. So like I would love it if I could get paid for that and if I had the time for it, but like I mean paid.
Yeah.
To justify it. Like so like
full-time pay.
We all want to get paid like that.
Yeah. So I dabbled in that for a little bit and I'm like, no, I want to keep music for myself and I want to do it for myself.
So do you find that it changes the creativity or performance doing it in your home versus doing it in a studio?
Yeah, I think it's better. Better.
Like it better?
Yeah. Because I could take my time or like, yeah, it's just better. And there's no stress. Like I know I'm not burning, some on dollars an hour if I can't nail this part. Like without that stress, then I'm just like, it's so much easier for me to track guitars and vocals and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. I mean, it's nice jumping in out of bed and straight into your studio. That's a really nice thing.
I'm like an evangelist for that for other bands. I'm like, don't pay a studio to do this. Like you can do it. You can do this yourself and like just spend your money on the mix. The mix is all that matters. So
yeah. Real quick, because I know we got to wrap this up. Side projects? You got any side projects going on?
Yeah, Northlander.
What's that one about?
It's like moody rock, a little bit spacey.
Matchbox 20?
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, It's more clean guitars, but still detuned pretty low. And we just have one record that's on Face Down Records, Forces of Light, and that's a really good record. Like,
and it's on Spotify.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah.
So Northlander.
Yeah. I played when we were doing the Rock Salt radio thing. I had one song on our radio station. It's it's a good
nice.
Album.
Nice.
Cool.
It's a
Thank
good
you.
album. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do a live, recorded live, more radio style show. We had a radio station going, and then
we ran. It was just like you didn't have time.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It wasn't as good, and so we've done this since last February, and it's getting better and better.
Yeah, we can whip through a show pretty quick now, where it
Yeah.
used to take us like 3 hours or so.
Oh yeah.
and even though we've known each other since we were teenagers, and we're both 50.
Oh, that's
now,
awesome.
It took a while for us to get in sync to
Yeah.
each other, and now it's pretty easy. And so you know how it is with you and your brother. It probably took you a while, then
Antics on stage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you guys mess with each other on stage?
No,
Oh, see,
no, we don't.
I would totally do that. I talk to bands that have siblings, and everybody says the same. No, we don't mess with. I would totally mess with my brother every single time.
No,
Oh,
I
man.
mean, we all like spit on each other, but that's just like funny. But like,
just rock and roll.
yeah, it's just rock. It's just supposed to be wet and sweaty.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we just laugh a lot. But yeah, I don't ever like touch him.
Now again, you said Northlander. Any future projects for that, the side project, or is that?
Yeah. I wanted to do another album in 2022, so we'll see if I can get around to it. I had it done, but then it was just sounding too folksy, so I cut half the songs. So I have like 5 really good ones, and so, but I don't think I want to do an EP. Those are always like so disappointing to me when I hear like one of my favorite bands is putting out an EP. So I'm just like, I mean, not that we're anyone's favorite band, but I just I like the delivery of a full package, like a full thought process of like 10 or more songs in something cohesive.
I agree with you on that. I get a little disappointed when like Vector just put out an album, and I'm a huge Vector fan, and I love this album, and I was a little disappointed that it was only 47 minutes long. I was like, I could do, an hour 10 or so, throw a couple more.
47 minutes is pretty long though, right?
It is a pretty decent album. Don't get me wrong. I could have probably done with 3 more songs,
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's been 25 years.
Oh,
Sometimes if it takes a band
dude.
that long to get back together, you just want a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's 25 years. It should be like at least 15 tracks.
Yeah.
Like, what were they doing? 25 years.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things, but
a lot of things.
Yeah, but I remember when Stryper kind of departed and then came back together and did an album, and I listened to the album over and over again. I'm like, please, more songs. more
Yeah, I
songs.
mean, hey, when Guns N' Roses were together, they put out Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. That wasn't 25 years in between albums.
That's true. But
They put out 2 albums at once.
Use Your Illusion, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was 2.
yeah.
Oh.
There's a Use Your Illusion 1 and a Use Your Illusion 2.
They came out 2 weeks apart or something like
No,
that.
No
they were released
way.
on the same day.
Same day.
What?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for
2
I
separate-
love that.
2 separate albums. So if you didn't like one album, you didn't have to buy a double. It was a great
Oh.
marketing technique because like me, who was broke at the time, I couldn't afford both albums. So I got one. And it was a great marketing technique.
Huh.
So you should do Fallstar and then the same day release
Northlander. There you go. and you know what? Yeah, make them like a puzzle that fits together.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. Yeah.
Some crazy stuff you can do with vinyl.
So they can find your stuff on Face Down Records. You have vinyl out? You have vinyl?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
See,
Yeah, there's
vinyl's
like
king.
70
It'll
left
always
for
be king.
Fallstar. So there's not very many left. So we're almost sold out. So
Only how many left? Fallstar?
70.
70.
Oh, get yourself
Yeah.
a Fallstar vinyl. Get him while you can.
Yeah.
And where can people find you? I'm assuming you're on Facebook, Instagram, and all the socials, right?
Yeah, Instagram's Fallstar Music, and then Facebook it's just /Fallstar. But yeah, you should follow us on there, and then we'll be announcing the next album crowdfund from our socials, and then also ratfamilyrecords.com. We'll have updates on there. But if you're a fan of vinyl, that'll only there'll be one variant only released through the crowdfund. So there'll only be 100 copies. So first 100 people to get something cool.
That's
and
cool.
Then Face Down will release a different variant later on, and they do cool ones too. So
that's awesome.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Face Down has one of the most creative vinyl. How they do the vinyl and all that.
I love how they do that. Yeah.
How do they do it? I'm out of the loop.
Well, they just have a lot of color and all that.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
The new War of Ages single released on vinyl. The vinyl's incredible looking.
Really?
They do etchings on the back and just crazy stuff. Yeah, and they don't do huge runs. So it's
very
crazy.
limited.
It's very collectible too. The secondary market for Face Down releases is very expensive.
Don't tell me that. I'm gonna start collecting Face Down records now.
It's seriously though, if you're gonna collect records, Face Down Records is the best, because then they'll repress a few 5 or 10 years later, and then those still sell out like that. It's crazy, but they just do very limited runs, and I think that's a good idea because it makes it more special for the people that grab them. And
right, it's like I say, Aaron, keep them wanting more.
Yeah,
that's it.
It works, brother. All right, so Fallstar, and you're on Facebook, you're on Spotify, you're on Instagram.
New album coming out in 2022.
Get in on the Kickstarter crowdfunding. I'm assuming it was Kickstarter.
Indiegogo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when's the next run of shows?
I don't know. We're supposed to be playing Germany in October.
Wow.
And that's all we have nailed down. Yeah, we've been going back there since 2013, and we have just an awesome relationship with a lot of the people over there. And so it's that's the one time where we actually feel like rock stars of any sort, because it's these huge rooms and everybody knows our music. And so there's been so many times where I'm like, wait, is that the backing tracks? No, we didn't backtrack that part. That's literally the whole crowd singing our own music back to us. We have had just some of the most surreal moments over there. So,
well, since you're big in Germany, you might want to look into covering a David Hasselhoff song.
Yeah.
Hasselhoff over there.
I wouldn't say we're big in Germany, but we have amazing shows over there.
That's awesome.
You do shows here and there in Portland, that area too, just one nighters or whatever. So,
no, it's usually just with a tour, because we just live all over the place. So we don't really have local shows are just as hard as doing a tour. So we'll probably do another run this year, where there's a couple other bands that we've been talking with that are around our same size. So we'll probably just do another West Coast run this next year.
Well, if you make it down to Sacramento, definitely let us know. We'll come down to the show.
Yeah.
We'd love to hang out and say hello to our friend Nick from When the Broken Burn. Let him know you were talking with us, and I miss that guy. He's such a cool guy.
He's amazing. He's a savage on stage too. He's so wild.
Yeah. When I met him, he was playing with Signal versus Noise. That's when I met him. And I walked up to him. He was sitting at the merch table. I walked up to him, and I hadn't seen the band yet. He hadn't played yet, but he's sitting at the merch table. And I went, "You must be the drummer." He goes, "Why would you say that?" I said, "Because you look like a drummer, man." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm the drummer." And he got up and gave me a big bear hug. And
that's awesome.
He's just such a cool dude. So yes, tell our friend Nick we said hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Chris, for spending some time with us. That was great. So,
thank you, Aaron and Dave. Appreciate talking to you. It's great.
All right. So we're gonna do some more Fallstar here, Aaron?
Yeah, King Laser.
What a great tune.
Yeah, my second favorite song.
It's your second favorite
awesome.
song.
On the album. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
all right, it's the Rock Salt Musecast Experience.